Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I am going to show to you an MVP or a minimum viable product about or on an airline industry. So a lot of us have actually experienced a lot of problems. Like for example, it's very hard for us to identify which one is the best flight schedule for us. And also sometimes if we want to understand our rights as passengers, we still have to ask the customer service. And sometimes, if not most often, they don't really do the service that we want. So this agent, AI agent, is going to help us book our flight, or it's going to help us schedule or plan our flights. And also, this can help us understand our rights as passengers. So let's start. Let's first have hello. So by the way, I have actually used, or I am using the data of the Philippine Airlines, and this data is actually public. So meaning I just use the data that's available publicly. So when I say hello, then it tells me, oh, hello, how can I assist you with your travel plans today? Whether you need help with flight schedules, booking, or any questions about Philippine Airlines. So this does not mean that this agentic AI is only applicable for Philippine Airlines, but this can also be applicable to any other airlines out there. So our next question would be, help me make a flight plan from Manila to Cebu. What are the flight options and the best times to fly to avoid rush hour traffic in both cities? Let's now enter this. Okay, it's still examining, analyzing what the results would be. It will take few minutes or few seconds. Now we have. So for your trip from Manila to Cebu, here are the available flight options. So the best time to fly to avoid rush hour. Now you have here the recommendations, the early morning flights, the late morning flights, and avoid evening hours. So the 350 PR2841, this is actually a very definite flight. It's a great option as it allows you to arrive in Cebu before the morning rush hour, because from Manila to Cebu it's just 1 hour, almost 1 hour. So you will get there by around 5 o'clock in the afternoon or early in the morning. So that's before the rush hour. Or you can also take 6. That's still okay. It's not yet the rush. Let's have another question. So our next question is, if I take the 6 a.m. flight, what's the deal, or what's the ideal time to leave for NAIA Terminal 2 from Makati to avoid traffic? Now it's going to help us how to decide based on our situation. Let's ask our agentic AI. So now we have the results for the 6 a.m. flight. So it's again giving us a very exact name of the plane. So we have PR2845 from Manila. That's from NAIA Terminal 2. It's important to arrive early to allow for check-in and security procedures. So here are the key considerations for your travel plan. So it gives us the check-in time, the travel time from Makati to NAIA Terminal 2. So the travel time can vary greatly depending on the traffic conditions. So early in the morning, around 3:30 a.m. to 4, traffic is usually lighter. So now it's also giving us what's the ideal time. So to ensure a stress-free journey, so consider leaving the hotel or your hotel in Makati by 3 a.m. So it's also giving us the reason why. By leaving at this time, you should be able to avoid most of the traffic and ensure that you arrive at NAIA Terminal 2 before your flight. Now let's have another question, and the question is, if this flight is delayed by more than 2 hours, what kind of assistance or compensation do I get? So it's now asking AI about the certain rules and procedures. So let's ask. So according to the Philippine Air Passenger Bill of Rights, if your flight is delayed by more than 2 hours, you are entitled to the following assistance and compensation, especially if the delay is attributable to the airline. So refreshment of meals, free communication, first aid, right to treat the flight as cancelled. So this is actually very logical based on the question that we gave to our agentic AI. So to ensure your benefits, or to ensure you receive these benefits, it's advisable to stay informed about your flight status and to communicate with the airline's customer service representative if a delay occurs. So all of the the answers are actually very logical. These are what we actually expect. So let's have another question. If I miss the flight but arrive the next one, can I get a rebook for free or at a discount? Let's know what the rules or procedures with respect to this. So if you miss your flight with Philippine Airlines and arrive before the next scheduled flight, the policy for rebooking depends on a few factors. Here's what you need to know. So no-show policy, the rebooking options, compassionate considerations. It also gives us a summary. Like to summarize, while you may have the possibility of being rebooked for free or at a discount, it's largely dependent on the circumstances under which you missed the flight. So make sure to communicate with the airline as soon as possible after the missed flight. By actually using agentic AI for your operations, you actually reduce the friction between the passengers or the customers and the airlines itself, because most often, if not sometimes, there's actually a delay as to the questions being responded to by a certain person. So by using agentic AI, you actually reduce first, of course, the cost of having a lot of persons or agents who are going to assist and answers questions or queries. So by having this, it not only gives the customers more information about the flight, but it also gives them more information about the circumstances, and by using those circumstances, they will be able to make an informed decisions.